Indeed. So you see a biblical kind of context there, don't you, between the Garden of Eden, as you mentioned, and Kew Gardens
Absolutely,
here in London.
absolutely.
Lovely. Now, later in the state visit, the President Ramaphosa was also due to meet Prime Minister Rishi Sunak on Wednesday and attend a UK-South Africa business forum to discuss trade and investment. The following was recorded at number 10.
Well, President, I'm delighted to welcome you here on this historic state visit. South Africa and the UK, obviously very strong partners, allies, friends, and we share so many of the same objectives, notably transitioning to clean energy whilst creating jobs and opportunity for our citizens. You know, I'm very keen to deepen our relationship, as I know you are, and I look forward to discussing that after our meeting.
So for us, this is a great opportunity to deepen and broaden our links that are historic in many, many ways, and we are here to promote trade, investment, and indeed to discuss the just energy transition, which you are a key partner of. So I welcome our discussion, and I hope that we will be able to really broaden everything that we do together.
Well, and I'm very confident we can broaden and deepen that relationship.
Thank you.
We'll get to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, could you go up this way for us, please, just for a second?
Okay.
Well, South Africa is Britain's largest trading partner in Africa, of course. Now, Professor Chris, you were, before we get on to discussing that number 10 meeting, you were the head of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee programme for STEM, that's Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics. Now, thank you very much for your tireless work in education, by the way, for STEM. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we talk about number 10?
It's a joy to be able to serve, especially when you have also benefited from the service of others. So we were very surprised when at the beginning of the planning of a Platinum Jubilee for Her Majesty's 70th year on the throne, we got this invite to say, what must we do? A, to commemorate her service, B, and more importantly, to reflect the times. Because the times we are living in now is the tech era. So we sat down, myself and a group of my friends and colleagues, look at how has science changed, the S, how has technology changed, how has engineering changed, and how has mathematics underpinned all this development. Because we are going to have more of technology. We've seen what COVID did to us, thanks to COVID. So we are going to extend and extrapolate in another 15, 20 years. What will our daily lives look like? What will the standard office look like? What will the schools look like? So those were the things we did. We had hackathons, and we had discussions, and then more importantly, we had projections. What will happen to the cell phone that you have in your hand today? The mobile phone is going to increase in use and relevance. And anyone that thinks that technology is going to go away, you are back in the wrong tree, because it's biblical. It's something that is going to transform the way you and I talk, the way you and I live, the way you and I work, the way you and I play. Most people are working 6,000 miles away. They are called remote workers now. So you don't have to be in the same location to be impacted economically. So those are some of the highlights of what we're looking at. Compared to 70 years ago when Her Majesty came to the throne, to now, how much has technology changed or reinvented everything we do?
So how important was STEM in this week's meeting between, say, Cyril Ramaphosa and King Charles III during that state visit?
Oh, it defined everything. You can see that every single activity was beamed around to South Africa at the same time. So there was live streaming of events and activities using multiple platforms without the expense associated with buying a professional camera. So with the cell phone, you could just point it to the room, and then what are you doing? You are sharing it with brothers and sisters across Africa. So, and you will get instant response. So the life we now live is not the life our grandparents lived or our great-grandparents lived, where we have to wait for the editing, or we have to wait for a giant television station, there I mentioned their name, and they had a monopoly information. Now there is a democratization of information, and the spread of that information is incredible. And see, I saw an Instagram feed from one of the meetings, and I saw the sheer number of people that were seeing that Instagram feed. I couldn't believe the instant response And that was brought to the attention of those attending the meeting here. Meanwhile, that response came 6,000 miles away. So it's incredible. We live in a different age, and we are privileged to be working on this planet Earth now, gifted with this technology.
Well, referring now back to that meeting between President and Prime Minister, how can the UK and Africa benefit from this visit?
In a lot of ways. I'm pleased that the President came out and categorically said that he wants education. Because remember, when Nelson Mandela was with us, he made a point. He said, education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world. Which resonates with what we're saying, say, get wisdom. In all that getting, get understanding. Because wisdom is applied knowledge. Education is the acquisition of knowledge. So you can see the direct link there. So he wants more South African youths trained, skilled, and educated than before. So that's one area we can get. We have the expertise, they have the youth, we train them, and do you know what happened? They become remote workers for great multinationals in the UK. So this is one reason why we must work together, because collaboration is guaranteeing us success in areas of women empowerment. We also had the motto there. In the areas of technology transfer, in the area of using the same technology that we have here in South Africa, so that South Africa now becomes an industrialized nation, competing with the best of the world, enabled and supported by Great Britain.